Hello students, good morning to all of you. How are you all? I hope you are all doing well today. So students, in today's class we are going to start a new topic, that is direct and inverse proportion, or we can say direct and indirect proportion. Okay, so let's start today's class and learn something new. Now here you can see the one example. Okay, so Anusia is a traveler and goes on a road trip every week in her bike. Okay, you can see. Now in the first week she visited Nohakali Kai waterfalls. Okay, first week. So you can see the picture of waterfalls. Okay, that is the tallest plunge waterfalls in India. Okay, in second week she visited Orang National Park. So Orang National Park is known as Mini Kaziranga. Okay, Mini Kaziranga. Now here third week, so she visited Kakuchang waterfalls. So Kakuchang waterfalls is located in Karbi Anglong district in Assam. So assume that she always drove the bike at a constant speed during the entire journey. Constant speed means, yes, fixed speed. Okay, so fixed speed during the entire journey. So here first week it took her 2 hours to visit Nohakali Kai waterfalls, which is 100 km from Guwahati. Okay, so she took 2 hours. So here distance that is 100 km and time, yes, 2 hours. Next week it took her 3 hours to reach Orang National Park. So how far is it from Guwahati? So can student, can you tell me how far is it from Guwahati? Yes, so we know that the speed is constant here. Okay, okay, next the third one, how much time will it take for her to reach Kakuchang waterfalls, which is 250 km away? Yes, so let's here first we find the distance from Guwahati to Orang National Park. So here how it far? So distance travelled in 2 hours, that is 100 km, already given in the question. Okay, distance travelled in 2 hours, that is 100 km. So distance travelled in 1 hour, that is equal to, yes, correct, 100 by 2, that is 50 km. Okay, now distance travelled in 3 hours, so that will be equal to 50 into 3, so 150 km. That means Orang National Park is 150 km away from Guwahati. Okay, now let's see one more example here. So how much time will take for her to reach Kakuchang waterfalls, which is 250 km away? So here distance and time. So distance that is 100 km, 150 km and 250 km. You can see the distance increases, so time also increases. 2 hours, 3 hours and 250 km. So when distance increases, time taken to travel the distance also increases. Okay, here you can see when distance increases, then time taken to travel the distance also increases here. That means distance increases, so time also increases here. Okay, when distance decreases, so time will be decreases. Okay, so here 100 km, 150 km, that means 100 ratio 150, 2:3, and third one 250, here you can see 2 ratio 3, 2:3. Now as distance increases, time also increases in the same ratio. Okay, because the speed is constant here. Okay, remember always in this situation the speed is constant here. When yes, 250 kilometer, so here distance 250 kilometer and first distance that is 100 kilometer, so ratio between 100 and 250, yes, that will be equal to 2:5. Okay, so time will be 2:5, so 2:5, that means 5 hours to 250 kilometer. Okay, so distance varies with time proportionally. You can see this type of variation is due to the constant speed. Okay, and yes, speed, the formula of speed, that is distance upon time. Speed is equal to distance upon time. So here distance upon time, that is 100 by 2, so 50, 150 by 3, so yes, that is again 50. You can see the speed that is constant in this example, 250 by 5, so again 50, so speed is constant here. Okay, so ratio of distance and time is constant. Ratio of distance and time, that is constant. That means yes, distance upon time, the ratio of distance and time, that is speed. Okay, yes. So here time upon distance, yes, again time upon distance, yes, 1 by 50, 3 by 150, again 1 by 50, 5 by 250, yes, again 1 by 50. So ratio of distance and time is constant. Yes, okay. So since the ratio between distance and time is constant and they vary proportionally, they are directly proportional. Okay, so here the example of, yes, directly proportional. Okay, directly proportional means when one quantity increases, so other will be increases. When one quantity decreases, so other will be decreases. Okay, so that is the example of directly proportional, direct proportional. Okay, you can see the proportional sign here, that is a, okay, proportional sign, that means distance increases, so time will be increases, distance decreases, so time will be decreases. Okay, yes, so directly proportional. So two quantities x and y are directly proportional if their ratios of increase or decrease, that is x by y or y by x, are constants. Okay, so remember always the property of direct proportional. Okay, x is directly proportional to y, where that is a symbol of proportional, you can see symbol of proportionality. Okay, x is equal to ky, we can write x is equal to ky when we remove the sign of proportional. So yes, we can take constant k here. So x is equal to ky, that means x upon y is equal to k. The ratio of x and y will be constant always. Okay, yes, okay. Now students, it's a question time, and I have a question for you. A laborer is paid rupees 400 for 2 days work. If he works for 5 days, how much will he get? And yes, I am giving you 30 seconds. So which option is correct here? 1000 rupees, 800 rupees, 750 rupees, and yes, 900 rupees. So which option is correct here? Yes, okay. So students, time's up. So the right answer is option A, 1000 rupees. You can see a laborer is paid rupees 400 for 2 days work. 2 days work, that is 400. Okay, so 1 day's work, so 400 by 2, so that is 200. okay, and 5 days work, so 5 to the 10, so rupees 1000, okay. So option A is right answer here. Okay, now let's move the next part. Now here we have one more situation here. Somnath is Anusuya's friend. He was inspired by Anusuya's bike journey and wanted to go to the same places in his car. Okay, so now Somnath traveled by car. So he started from Guwahati and traveled to all three places in 3 weeks. Okay, so in first journey, yes, and second, and yes, the third place. So all three places are here. He started from Guwahati and traveled to all three places in 3 weeks. So here you can see the Anusuya distance and time. Now here the Somnath, that is 100 kilometer, 150, the distance are same here. So time taken by Somnath, that is 1.5 hour, in second one that is 2 hour, and third one that is 4 hour. Okay, so you can see the distance upon time is equal to speed. So the ratio of distance and time, when we find out this distance, ratio of distance and time, so 100 divided by 1.5, so what will we get? 66.6. In the second one, 150 by 2, so that will be equal to 75. Third one, 250 by 4, yes, so 250 by 4 is 62.5. Now students, you can see here the ratios are different. First is 66.6, second one that is 75, and third one that is 62.5. That means in this situation speed is not constant in this case. So here the ratio between distance and time is not constant. Okay, so in this case distance and time are not directly proportional. Okay, that means distance and time are not directly proportional in this case. Okay, okay, now students, it's question time. I have a question for you. A machine in a soft drink factory fills 600 bottles in 5 hours. How many bottles will it fill in 2 hours? So I am giving you 30 seconds. So which option is correct here? Yes. Yes, option A 120, option B 180, option C 150, and option D 240. So which option is correct here? Okay, so students, times up. The right answer is yes. You can see 600 bottles for 5 hours. So 5 hours, that is equal to 600. So 1 hour, that is 600 by 5. Okay, so 5 12 is 60. So 120 ratio 1. That means 120 bottles in 1 hour. So 240 bottles in 2 hours. So answer will be option D here. Okay. So yes, option D is right answer here. Okay. Now let's move the next part. Now again Anasuya, Bilal and Somnath travelled from Guwahati to Cherrapunji. Okay. So here Anasuya, Bilal and Somnath. Okay, so you can see Cherrapunji receives yes, it's a general knowledge. Okay, Cherrapunji receives 11,777 mm rainfall each year. Okay, so it's a general awareness. So it is one of the wettest place on earth. Okay, so here speed and time. So now speed and time. So Anusuya travelled by bike in 6 hours with a speed of 40 km per hour. Okay. So here speed is given, that is 40 km per hour, and traveled Anusuya traveled by bike in 6 hours. So, time taken by 6 hours here. Next, Bilal, that is traveled by bus with a speed of 60 km per hour and reached in 4 hours. So, here 60 and 4. And the third one, yes, Somnath traveled by a car with a speed of 80 km per hour. So, student, can you find how much time did he take to reach? Yes. Okay, let's see how can we find the time taken by Somnath. So, speed and time, you can see speed and time. Speed are increases, so time. If we travel with more speed, so less time is taken to reach the destination. Okay. So, here speed 40 2 times increases, 40 to the 80, and yes, time will be decreases. So, 3 hours 6 hours divided by 2, that will be 3 hours. Okay. So, we can find out by ratio also. So, 40 by 80, that is 1:2, and 6 by, so 6 by 3, that is 2:1 here. So, 1:2 is the inverse of the ratio 2:1. Okay. Now, here 40 by 60 in the first and second example. So, 40 ratio 60, that will be equal to 2:3, and the time the ratio between times, that is 6:4. So, 6:4 means 3:2. So, 3:2 that is equal to, yes, inverse of ratio 2:3. Okay. So, 2:3 is the inverse of the ratio 3:2. That means here the quantities are related in inversely. Okay. So, 3:4 is the inverse of the ratio 4:3. The ratio of speed and ratio of time are inverse of each other. Okay. So, now here distance travelled by Anasuya, Bilal and Somnath is the same. Okay. So, here distance, that is the formula of distance, that is equal to speed into time. So, speed, yes, 40 into 6. So, 6 into 40, that is 240, 240 and 240. So, students, you can see here the distance that is constant in this example. Okay. So, here distance are constant, that is equal to 240 kilometer. So, speed and time are inversely proportional here. Okay. So, both quantities speed and time are inversely proportional, because yes, the distance that is constant here. Okay. So, let us see inversely proportional, that means two quantities x and y are inversely proportional if the product of their values is a constant. Okay. So, that is the definition of inversely proportional. It means two quantities x and y are inversely proportional if the product of their values is a constant, or yes, we can write that is a mathematical form. Okay. X is inversely proportional to 1 by y, or we can say x is equal to k 1 by y, or x into y is equal to k. X y is equal to k. So, k is constant here. That means the product of x and y is always equal to k. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now it's question. So, I have a question for you. If x equal to ky, y equal to 4 and x equal to 8, the value of k is, yes. So, I am giving you 30 seconds. Okay. So, which option is correct here? Option A 1, option B 2, option C 3, option D 4. Yes. X is equal to ky, y is equal to 4, x is equal to 8. Okay students, so time's up. So student, can you tell me which type of proportion between x and y here? Yes, x is equal to ky, that means x upon y is equal to k, x upon y is equal to k, and that is directly proportional. Okay. Now the value of k is, so put the value of y and x here. So y is 4, x is 8, so 8 by 4, 8 by 4, so that is 2, so k is equal to 2 here. Okay, so option B is right answer here. Yes, so that is the condition of direct proportion. Okay. Okay, now let's move the next part. Now here Anusuya, Bilal and Somnath started their journey from Silchar to Jorahat early in the morning to avoid traffic. So speed and time you can see 60, 70 and 100, time taken by 3 hours, 2 hours and 1 hour. So check if the speed and time are inversely proportional. So can you check these students? Yes. Yes, let's do. So here the product of speed and time, that is that will be constant. Okay. So the condition of inversely proportional means, yes, time, speed and time, the product of speed and time will be constant. So here 60 into 3, so that is 180. In the second column 70 into 2, yes, that will be 140, and in the third column 100 into 1, so that is equal to, yes, 100. So here you can see the product of speed and time are not same here, 180, 140 and 100. So that means, yes, here the product is not constant, that means speed and time are not inversely proportional here. Okay. Okay, now students, let's one more example here. So Isa in the kitchen, and yes, they are preparing food, you can see. Okay. So Isa uses 2 cups of rice for 4 people to cook meetha pulao. Okay. So here you can see the number of people, that is 4, and cups of rice, that is 2. Okay. So 6 more guests arrive at her house. So she planned to use 5 cups of rice for 10 people. So here number of people, that is 10, and cups of rice, yes, 5. So check if she is right. So can you do this, students? Yes. Okay, so let's do it. Here now here you can see number of people, so that is 5, and cups of rice, yes, number of cups increases to 4. So the ratio between people and cups of rice, that will be 4 by 2, that is 2 here, and 10 by 5, so that is 2 here. That means ratios are same here. So yes, Isa is right for using 5 cups of rice for 10 people. Okay. Okay, now it's question time. So I have a question for you. If x and y are directly proportional, then which of the following is correct? So here I am giving you 30 seconds. Which option is correct here? Option A, x plus y is equal to constant. Option B, x minus y is equal to constant. Option C, x y is equal to constant, and option D, x upon y is equal to constant. So which option is correct here? Yes, x and y are directly proportional. Okay. Yes. Okay, so times of students. So students, x and y are directly proportional. That means, yes, that means one quantity increases, then other will be increases, and one quantity decreases, so other will be decreases. Okay. So the ratio of x and y, the ratio of x and y is equal to constant always. Okay, that will be equal to constant. Yes, so x upon y is equal to constant. So option D is right answer here. Okay, and students, inversely proportional, can you tell me if x and y are inversely proportional? So yes, the condition for inversely proportionality, yes, yes, tell me. Yes. So in indirectly proportional or inversely proportional, that means one quantity increases, other will be decreases in the same ratio. Okay. So that means x and y, the product of x and y, that will be equal to constant. Okay. That will be equal to k. X into y is equal to constant always in inversely proportional, and directly proportional x upon y is equal to k. So that is the basic trick, that is the basic technique, that is the simple basic definition here. Okay. When two quantities are in directly proportional, that means x the ratio between two quantities are constant, and for inversely proportional, so the product of two quantities are constant. Okay. So remember always. Yes. So the here the right answer is option D, x upon y is equal to constant. Yes. Okay. Now let's move the next part. So now solve me at a fruit shop. So here you can see the picture of fruit shop. Okay. So here price of 2 kg of apples is equal to rupees 340. So quantity of apples, that is 2 kg. So and price is, yes, 340. So she paid rupees 800 for 5 kg of apples. So 5 kg apples and she paid rupees 800 for 5 kg. So quantity, you can see quantity increases, so price will be increases here. Okay, quantity increases, number of yes, prices will be increases. That means direct proportion. Okay, so check if the quantities are in direct proportion. So can you do this? Yes, ratio between quantity and price. So here 340 by 2. So 340 by 2, that will be equal to 170. Okay, and second one, yes, 800 by 5. Yes, 800 by 5. So that will be equal to, yes, 5, 5 1 is 5, 3 6 160. Okay, so that will be equal to 160. Now can you tell me here quantity of apples and price is direct proportion or not? Is it direct proportion or not? Yes, it's not in direct proportion. Why? So here you can see the ratio between these quantities are not same. Okay, so the ratios are different here. That means these the quantities are not in direct proportion. Okay. Yes. Okay, now it's question time, students. I have a question for you. So for a given job, more the number of workers, less will be the time taken to complete the work. So this is a case of, so I am giving you 30 seconds. So which option is correct here? For a given job, more number of workers, less will be the time taken to complete the work. So this is a case of direct proportion, inverse proportion, equal proportion, and none of these. So yes, which option is correct here? Okay students, so time's up. So the right answer is, yes, you can see, for a given job, more the number of workers, that means number of worker increases, so less will be the time taken. So less will be the time taken, that means two quantities are yes, related to each other, that means one is increases and other will be decreases. So that is the case of inverse proportion. Okay, when one quantity increases and other will be decreases, that means the case of inverse proportion. So yes, that is the option B is the right answer here. Okay, and for direct proportion, that means one quantity increases, other will be increases. So remember always, direct proportion, that means one quantity increases, other will be increases. Okay, indirect proportion or inverse proportion, that means one quantity increases, other will be decreases. Like the example you can see here, more number of workers and less will be the time taken. Okay, so it's a example of inverse proportion. Okay, so the right answer is option B here. Okay, now let's see one more example here. Riddhi wants to hire workers for building a swimming pool. So 10 workers can build a swimming pool in 60 days. Yes, so 10 workers and the time, that is 60 days. So she planned to hire 24 workers to build the pool in 25 days. So 24 workers and 25 days. So check if C is right. So students, can you do this? Yes, number of workers you can see increases 10 to 24 and time, that yes, it decreases 60 to 25. So can you tell me what kind of proportion here? Yes, correct. So here time, yes, time decreases, worker increases. So that means it's a case of inverse proportional. So check if they are inversely proportional. Okay, so product inversely proportional, that means product of two quantities, that is constant. So 60 into 10, yes, 600, and 24 into 25, so that will be equal to 600. Yes, that means product are same here, that means the product of workers and time, that is equal to 600, that is constant here. Okay, product is the same, that means they are inversely proportional. Okay, okay students, it's a value based question. So Sangeeta's friend Leena had a cat which she lost in a car accident. One day in class, Leena was crying in a corner. So Sangeeta noticed that and understood the reason. So their classmate Rana came to Leena and started making fun of her, saying, "Are you crying for a cat? So that's not a human that you lost. You are so silly." So on the other hand, Sangeeta sat beside Leena and said, "I never had a cat, but I can feel how difficult it must be for you. So don't lose hope. Wherever your cat is, she is doing fine." So Leena hugged Sangeeta and felt better after some time. So what quality is Sangeeta showing her here? Okay. So yes, you have four options. So which option is correct here according to you? Okay, that is a value based question. So which option is correct according to you? So yes. Okay, so okay friends, so time's up. So yes, Sangeeta showing here, yes, option C. Okay, that is the right answer here. Now let's move the next part. Okay, so here it's a feedback question. How do you feel? Okay, I am giving you 25 seconds. So in today's class, students, we have discussed about direct proportion and inverse proportion. Okay, direct proportion, that means when one quantity increases, other will be increases. Okay, and indirect proportion or inverse proportion, that means one quantity increases, other will be decreases. Okay, so that the okay. So here times up, students. So yes, let's summarize what we have learned today. So if x and y, if x and y, two quantities, okay, and both x and y are in direct proportion. So direct proportion, that means the ratio between x and y will be constant. So remember always, for direct proportion, x upon y is equal to k. Okay, so here one quantity increases, other will be increases. Okay, we see the example of yes, speed, that is equal to distance upon time. Distance increases, so time will be increases. Okay, so x upon y is equal to k. For inverse proportion, yes, for inverse proportion, so x and y are inverse proportion. So that means the product of x and y is equal to k. That means one quantity increases, other will be decreases. So the product will be equal to constant here. So remember always, for direct proportion and indirect proportion, it's a basic definition. Okay, x and y, if x and y are direct proportion, so that means x upon y is the constant always, and indirect proportion or inverse proportion, that means x, the product of x and y is equal to k. Okay, okay students, so it's time to over the class. So I hope you enjoyed today's class. Keep practicing. Okay, bye bye, take care, and see you in the next class. Okay.